Okay guys, today I'm going to teach you how to make a flatbread using nothing more than water, chickpea flour, extra virgin olive oil, salt, and some rosemary. So the first thing you want to do is chop your rosemary up kind of fine and just set it aside. You can actually use any herb you please. I just happen to prefer rosemary and I have it growing fresh right outside my house in a pot. So there's that. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to mix equal parts of water and chickpea flour. Now for a 10-inch skillet, I would use about a cup of water and a cup of flour. I'm using a 14-inch skillet tonight, so I'm going to go with a cup and a half of water and a cup and a half of chickpea flour. And all you're going to do is whisk this together to make a thin batter. Nothing special about it, just whisk it until there's no lumps left. Now that it's lump free, we're just going to let this sit for 30 minutes. Now that you've got your batter resting, you want to preheat your oven to about 450 degrees and you want to place a well-seasoned cast iron skillet in the oven about 6 inches below the broiler element while it's preheating. Like my light bulb in my oven is burnt out, but yeah, 6 inches below that broiler element. Alright, once your pan is preheated, we're going to add a little bit of olive oil to it. Don't forget your oven mitts, and you're going to swirl it around until the whole bottom is coated. Now that your pan is coated with olive oil, you're going to pour in your batter, starting in the center. Look at it sizzle as it goes in. It's a beautiful thing. The brown around the edges is just fine. Don't worry about that. You're going to switch your oven to broil, and you're going to broil for 5 to 8 minutes until it starts to get kind of black and bubbly on the top. Not black, but you know, nice looking. Alright, so you can see we got a little bit of blackened blisters on there. It's pulled away from the edges. It's set in the middle. What we're going to do now is we're going to drizzle it with a little bit more olive oil. We're going to sprinkle it with some salt, and we're going to sprinkle it with that fresh rosemary. That looks pretty good. Now we got to remove it from the pan, so you're going to want to slide a spatula out under the edges and kind of just gently lift it onto the cutting board. Alright, not gonna lie, I'm kind of impressed because usually I tear a little bit when I take it out of the pan, but it came out perfectly this time. And, side note, I actually singed my cutting board with that cast iron pan, so be careful when you make this, okay? You don't want that to be your arm. Now all that's left to do is kind of cut it and enjoy it. You can do it in wedges if you prefer. I just do it in squares because, I don't know, it's easier. It's going to be really nice and creamy on the inside, and you got a little crisp on the bottom. Really delicious, perfect with a soup.